Hello guys, you're welcome to my channel. If this is the first time of coming across our channel, you're welcome. Here we do sewing tutorial DIYs on sewing, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always tuning back in. Today we'll be learning how to make this deep V-neck bubu gown with pocket, and if it's something you're interested to learn, keep watching. Let's get to the tutorial proper. Do well to like, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. For this tutorial, let me assume this is your Ankara length like this is usually 45, right? Then if it's like crepe fabric, you will have 60. Some are even up to 62, but this is 45. So because this is 45, our measurement is going to come like this. So now I measured 3.5 yards. Okay, or how you can do it, you just measure the full length of the person. If the full length is 50, 45, 43, whatever the full length is, if it stops somewhere here, maybe that's where the full length stops, then you're going to fold into two and measure an equal part. So that equal part is what you will cut out for this measurement. Okay, so shoulder measurement, let me assume your shoulder is mine is 7.5, right? Wherever you want that sleeve to stop, either on this side or here, you measure from that point to that place. That will give you what the sleeve you want. So mine, in my own case, it should be like 22 with folding allowance, or 20, because from here to here I would need 15. So I'm going to just use the full measurement here for it. So because of that, I'm going to adjust my here for you to see. So from here I'm going to mark 1 inch for slope. Okay, I'm going to mark 1 inch for slope. I will connect it to the edge. You can see what I did. So from this part now, I'm going to mark where I want my opening to be. Mine is 11. Depend on how wide you want it. 10, 11 is good, or you can do 9, depend on how wide you want it. So I'm going to use 11 for this. Okay, then from here I will go in by 1 inch from this 11. Then I'll slant it to meet this edge. I will take it again. I said from this point, I went down by 1 inch. From here I went down by 1 inch, and I slanted it I marked it with my ruler to this point. Then from here I went down by 11. I said I'm doing 11. You can do 10, you can do 9. I did 11. So from this edge now, I marked in 1 inch. From this edge, I marked in 1 inch. So I'm going to connect it to this point, like so. It's not in a straight form, actually. It's like a slant kind of. Okay, I'll connect it to this point. So now, you know this is a free dress. Now it's totally up to you. How do you want it? Okay, how do you want it? Do you want it very big, very small? So in my case, I don't want it too big. I'm going to do 3.5. You can do 3, you can do 2. Okay, I'm going to do 3.5. So if I check this 3.5 to this place, I have 18. My hip measurement is actually let me assume this is my hip measurement. My hip measurement is 10.5 or 11. This is my hip measurement. So I have extra close to 7 inches. Maybe I will sew with 1 or 1.5. I will have close to 5.5 ease. So it depends on how full you want it. If you are not on a big size, reduce it. So me, I don't want it crazily full. So I'm going to come in by 4.5. Please, it's totally optional, up to you. So this 4.5 now, whatever I have left here, I have 17 now. I will extend it to the hemline of my dress. I'm going to extend it across 17. I'll do my 17 here. So I'm going to take the measurement all through to the hemline, okay, of my full length. I'll connect them, then cut out. Then here I hope you can see what I am doing here. Okay, I'll just curve it down to this point. Okay, just make a curve from this point to this point, and we're good to go. So now that we're done with this part, we have to focus on the neckline. Okay, So for the front neck, remember my fabric is folded together, okay? My fabric is folded together, so I'll have the first one side will be for inside, one side will be for the front, one side will be for the back. Depends on how deep or how open you want your neck to be, right? My shoulder to nipple point is 11, right? So if it is 11, from 10, 9, 8 is going to show my cleavage, okay? So, but not that much, but it will show my cleavage. So it depends on how deep you want it. This is actually optional. So for the back, I am doing 11 from the back of my own. I don't want it too deep. So 11 for the back, okay? 11 for the back. Then for the front, I am going to do 8.5. So this 8.5 automatically will give me 9 by the time I'm done sewing, or even more than 9. So for the depth, I'm doing 3.5. I'm not making it too open. You can make it up to 4. It's totally up to you. I'm doing 3.5. So I'm going to connect it like so. This is for the front, then this is for the back. So we are almost done. So now I will just cut out. Keep this, you will need it for the back, this measurement here. This measurement from here to here, you will need it. That is what you will use to cut out your stripe. Then this other part too is totally optional. If you can choose, if you don't want to sew here, you can leave it. So now we're going to cut out the we are done cutting. Keep in mind, for the, we've not cut out for the back, we've only cut out for the front. Now you're going to measure here. Whatever you have here, I have 7, right? I have 7. So I'm going to bring out this. I'm going to use it to cut the strap for the neck. So depending on how many steps you want your stripe to have. If you want more, you measure more. Okay? If you want more, you measure more. You add sewing allowance to it. That's if you want to put 2. You know there are some that have 2. You measure what you have at that edge. Then this I have 7.5. So I'm going to cut I need a straight line. Since I have 7, I'm going to do 9.5. The reason for the 9.5 is my sewing allowance, okay? So I need that about unfold. You can either do 2 inches or 3. Then you sew on 1 point. You sew. Then when you are done, you have like 1.5. Okay, but this will do the work for me. So I'm going to add interface to this. Now that this is out of the way, I'm going to separate one of the cloths, then cut for the back. And you have to make sure the edges are equal. So we've cut out for the back. So for the back, I've cut my face and I've added interface. You should hem here or weave it. I am going to weave mine later. So I'm just going to pin this T point because I want it sharp. That will help me maintain the line, okay? That's just what this needle is for. So when I sew, so for the back, we're going to, from this point, we're going to come down by 1 inch. Okay, you keep that in mind. You repeat same from here. You mark 1 inch. So we are going to sew and stop at this 1 inch. From this 1 inch, you check the measurement of this panel you're going to put. Check what you have there. This is 1.0 to 1.02. So I'm going to leave a space of 1.03. 1.03. So now I'm going to sew from here to this point and stop and start from here and sew to here, stop here and start from here. Okay, so let's do that. We'll come back to show you what to do. So I have sewn here. This is my 1 inch. So you're going to notch this middle like this. Now that we've done that, so I will open to iron. I am done ironing, so now it's time to pass this to the back. So you're going to fix it here, inside like so. Right. Okay. We secure so it doesn't pull. Secure this other side as well. So make sure no one is dragging each other. That's to be balanced. So once you've gotten that, now we'll take to the machine. We're going to sew. We're going to seal it off and take the other side. Repeat the same thing on this other side. Now this is what we have. I've successfully sealed it. So now you're going to bring the front panel to the back and you're going to sew. When ironing, make sure you open it up to iron so that it stays flat like this. Okay, so I'm going to join it up together and I'm going to sew. I'm going to sew on 0.5 or 0.7, anyone. So I'm taking it to the machine. I'll sew from here. I'll sew from here. Then I will fold it. I'll come and show you that. So what you're going to do now, you're going to come here and hem, right? You fold in 0.5, you iron, then you fold again. Okay, this is what you should have. You repeat on the other side and you sew. So now we're going to take to the machine. I've actually hemmed the line, so we're going to take to the machine and we're going to sew down to the end and we'll come back. So as you can see, I'm done hemming it, but at the end of this part here, I left, when I was sewing, I stopped at 13 inches. So after hemming and after the hemming and all that, I have 10 inches. That's if you want opening. You necessarily don't know. If it's wide enough for you, you can skip it, but I want opening. Okay, so now we're almost done. At this point, if you are just making a plain bubu with V-neck, you are ready, you're done all you could, but I want to add pockets to it. So now I'm just going to show you how to go about your pockets. You're going to come from your shoulder, you know, your actual shoulder measurement, whatever your actual shoulder measurement is. my actual shoulder length is 8.5. Sometimes I do 8, but it's 8.5. Mark that. It's a guide. I'm showing you. If you do, maybe you're making a free bubu, you don't have the person's full measurement, maybe half length and all that. This is how I do my pocket, and it's always worked for me. So from this point, I'm going to measure 9 inches. Right? I'm going to measure 9 inches from this point. I use this method for every body I'm sewing for. Okay? From this 9 inches, my pocket opening, usually your pocket opening shouldn't be more than 6. Right? You see, if you put your hand here now, you're having 6. And there's space here, there's space here. So I'm going to mark 6. Okay? I'm going to mark 6. This is my pocket opening. Or you can do 6.5 or 7. Depends. Just to be on the safe side, you can do 7, but 6 works for me. You can see my hand is sliding open. Okay? So now I said from your shoulder, measure your shoulder measurement. Mine is 8.5. From that 8.5, I went down by 9. From that 9, I marked another 6 inches for my hand. You can use your hand to measure from the 9 where you want it to stop, okay? Now, let me see. Let's do the math. So if I am taking my actual shoulder measurement, my shoulder measurement is 17. My shoulder to waist is 17. What I have here, I have 17.5. You see that is accurate. So this will help my pocket sit fine. Okay? Or you can just take your half measurement from your half measurement, your front half measurement. From there, mark it. From there, you take 6 inches. You are good to go. Now, let's mark the pocket. For the pocket, you're going to do same. You're going to mark 6. You see, I've actually marked it. I have more than enough space. I'm going to sew 0.5, 0.5. I have space. But for I just want to make it a little bit wider. Then you go down from that point. You go down by 8, 9, 10. Depends. Right? 8, 9, 10. We have 7. Let me extend a little with 0 because of sewing allowance. 7. So what you're going to do, you're just going to curve this 10 you went down by from here. That will determine the deepness of your pocket. You don't need it too long so that it will not start. Then you just connect like a C curve to this point. Right? From this point, you mark here too to meet this point. You are good to go. There are different ways to cut pockets. Do what works. This works for me, so I use it. So this is folded into 4. So I'm cutting out 2 pieces for one side, 2 pieces for one side. If you're sewing for a bigger size, somebody you know that their hands are a bit. So what I'm going to do now? I'm going to come here. I will top stitch this place and top stitch this place. Then I will lose here. This seam here. Then so I want to show you. Then I will take my pocket. You take the pocket as seam. You take it. You know here is the right side. Here is wrong side. You take the right side of this to this point, like so. You sew it. You sew it like this. You flip to the other side. You repeat same process. Okay. You sew on this side. When you are done, you flip it back like so. You top stitch from here down round to meet this side, and you are good to go. So that is it for now. When we are done with this, then we'll come to sew. If you want to do a bow tie, I'll show you how to do that one. You'll be running around when you are done, not to repeat same process on the other side. Just notch like this. So the measurement you have here will reflect on the other side. It will save you stress. So what you have here, you have here. This is where you're starting from. Just extend it. As you can see, I am done with this part. I've done with this part. I've loosed. This is my seam line. I've loosed it. In case you've never sewn this before, I just want to show you what I did before I finished sewing. You can see now. You can see. You see, I sewed close to the seam line, but not on the seam line, like 0.5 away from the seam line, okay? You can see 0.5 away from the seam line on both sides, right? You see what I did? So now, to sew it, I'm going to come like this now. Remember, this notch part is my part, you also have to cross check with your hands, right? So now I'm going to sew from here. You see, this is my seam line. This is my seam line. I'm going to sew top stitch here. Make sure you top stitch here very well. Make sure the top stitching is on this line, on the line of your seam, right? Top stitch and on a thread so that it will lock the thread when you lose. You're going to sew like this down to this point. Repeat same process to this point. You're going to sew past this other one, and your sewing is going to stop at this point. You top stitch again, okay? Then I'll show you how I lose it, okay? Now I'm done. If you have a seam ripper, it's good. If you don't have a seam ripper, your needle can do the work for you. If you don't have a seam ripper, just use your needle. Look for one thread here and pull it, okay? And pull it. When you are losing, don't drag too much, because if you drag too much, you may lose this other side, okay? So once you are successfully cut out like few centimeter or inch, you pluck like so, okay? Drag it out like so. So what this will do for you is see, when it gets here, because I locked it very well, it stopped automatically on its own. But if you drag it, it may not. You may alter the thread that your seam that is on the other side, okay? So I'm going to repeat same process here. I secured this seam on a thread on this seam, so it has automatically locked it. But to be on a safe side, when you're done doing this, top stitch here again. This is your seam, that top stitch it again and top stitch it, because especially if it's for clients, sometimes there's tendency that it will start ripping from there. So you make sure you resecure it, then you're good. Let's turn it over to see what we make of what we did. Actually not ironed it because there's no light presently, but this is what we have. You can see your pockets, you see, sliding right inside the seam. No issue. This is to be sure if your seam is secured, you see. So now, by this time, if you don't want to put a bow to this, you're done. You're good. If you've watched up to this part, kindly like and subscribe. So now, I've made the bow tie. Detailed tutorial on how to make this bow tie, how to cut and sew it, is linked in the description box below. Do well to watch if you want to learn how to do it. I'll just untack it. I'm just trying to show you that I'm untacking it. And if you watch up to this point and you find this video very helpful, do well to like our video, share, leave a comment. That's the best way you can support and help us. You leave a comment and we'll respond to you. Whatever, if you need me to hold your hands, just send me a message and I'll respond as soon as possible. So enjoy the rest of the video and see you in my next one. Don't forget to turn on your notification bell. Bye.